everyone. Welcome to the Juniper Veil. Today I'm going to do a reading on Taterhead. And does he make it to the midterms? So this was suggested to me by Roman, Goldmund XY. So thank you, Roman. So since Roman suggested it, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for Roman. All right, Roman. Think happy thoughts. I'm going to pull some cards. They're going to be good cards. These are from the Dumpster Fire Oracle cards. They're very cute. Maybe you'll get unicorn poop. That's a good one. That's a good one to get. Let's see. All right. 2 cards for Roman. Pot of Gold, manifesting abundance. Look at you. Looks like your rainbow has paid off with a big fat pot of gold. Abundance is coming. All right, Roman. That's a good start. Next, I got for you duct tape. So remember to be resourceful. This fixes nearly everything except bad vibes. Use what you can to keep moving forward. So there you go, Roman. Those are great cards. Thank you for the suggestion. I hope you like your cards. Everybody check out Roman's channel, Goldman XY. He does a lot of lives and hanging out. He has like 1 billion decks. So he's good people. The other thing I wanted to show you all is I got some new decks. I got this one is the Majestic Realm Tarot. I got it on Etsy. It was on sale. It was like 70% off. So just check Etsy for some deals that may be coming up. So that was nice. These are beautiful cards. You see the sun and moon, and it's like, it's got that blue on it. And then down the street, actually, from me, there's this really cool place. It's kind of like an artist shop, or you can buy old vintage stuff there. And I got this, and it's really neat. So it has a strength card. It's a little tray. Look how cute. I really like it. It's really neat. So I'm going to have to figure out different ways to use it. Probably, I don't know. Put my cards in it for the reading. Be nice. Okay, so let's see. Taterhead. Is Taterhead fully cooked before the midterms? Midterms are in November. In the past I've read something similar, and I kind of got that Taterhead wouldn't really be in the spotlight after August, I believe. This was quite a few months ago, though. So let's do another reading. So how exactly do I want to ask this? These cards they're like hard. They're stiff, but they're easy to shuffle. Not the easiest to shuffle, but not bad. Really nice cards. I love the blue. Blue is like my favorite color. So you would think purple was my favorite color with everything that I have purple for the Juniper Veil. But I don't know, for some reason the purple just went well with that. But my favorite color is blue. Ooh. Let's see. So how am I going to ask this? So let's see. I don't want to ask a yes or no question. I'm trying to figure out all right. So I'm going to say this. What does this summer hold for Taterhead? What does this summer hold for Taterhead? I'll pull 5 cards, and then I'll pull clarifiers if I feel like it. All right. What does this summer hold for Taterhead? Page of Pentacles. Ooh, I got that Queen of Swords reversed. I might have been the way I turned them, but 8 of Swords. Page of Swords. Ooh, a lot of swords. 9 of Cups. So that's 5. I might have been the way I pulled. I think I pulled this one like that. That's why it's reversed, but we'll see. I think I don't feel like If you're thinking about you're learning how to do tarot, there are people that do reversals and there are people that don't. So it's up to you. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I'm still getting into y- I want to do reversals. I kind of like the idea of them, but I'm still getting used to it. So we'll see what this says. So first, I got the Page of Pentacles, and this one, he's kind of like a snake, maybe a lizard, more like a snake, right? The Page of Pentacles. These are cool, cool cards. Um, Pages are novices. They are people that are ready to learn, right? They're like the youngest card of the court. Um, they're also subordinate, but they're hopeful. Pentacles are about the finance, money, career, protection, physical capabilities, health conditions. So, in a way, I feel like this card says that during the start of the summer, Taterhead is hopeful to have kind of good business deals going on, but it's interesting that it's like the page, right? It's not coming up as the king. So that to me says any influence that he's had is much smaller when it comes to business. He's probably gone from king all the way down to page. Like he doesn't have that charisma, he doesn't have that control like he used to. We have the Queen of Swords. Queens are about wisdom, leadership, feminine qualities of leadership. Swords can be difficult situations. They can be double sided. If this were reversed, though, how would that show up? Thinking too much with your heart rather than your head and your emotions can lead you astray, or you may be cold hearted, manipulative, lacking empathy, or overly critical. Well, I think that sounds a lot like Taterhead. These can be signs of some unresolved trauma coming to the surface. Try to align your head and your heart to make more balanced decisions. So basically, I think this card is saying he's going to be cold hearted, manipulative, lack empathy, critical, which is a continuation of already how he is. Next, we have the Eight of Swords. So this guy here is a monkey in a suit. The Eight of Swords is usually someone who feels restricted. Um, Sometimes they don't realize that they can get out of where they are, but they feel restricted. They feel like they can't move. The swords are all around them. They don't know what to do. I feel like he's going to be feeling that way as well. He has a loss of power. I think he's going to be feeling that a lot. That's gonna, his criticism will come from that. He's gone down in power, technically, right? With the Page of Pentacles. And then I have the Page of Swords. So, swords again, more difficult times. So, we got swords, swords, swords. That's not great. That is not great. Um, what's interesting about the Page of Swords when I see this one, we have a little piggy. Oink, oink. And I feel like it's like again, another page. So it's like he's not completely in control. He's not the king. And it's like he wants to fight. He wants to, um, he's having stress, he's having problems, but like he wants to fight. He has that sword, but I don't think people are really going to be listening to him in a way. I think he's going to find that he's just not, he doesn't have the ability. So usually pages of swords talk about knowledge and discovery and things like that, and being able to debate. But that's not what I'm getting from these cards. It's like because it's a page, it makes me think of a child who's like, I want to do this. I want to do that. Up, up, up. Right. Listen to me. Mm, mm, mm. He probably feels restricted already from the Eight of Swords. Probably doesn't feel, he knows, like, he doesn't feel like a king. He feels like a page. And I think that really bothers him. The Nine of Cups is interesting. Nines are they're completions in astrology. The tarot does go to 10, but it's still the nines still act like gaining like a wisdom or an end of a cycle. You know what you want and you know how to get it. Cups are emotions, intuition, comfort, culture, social relationships, kindness, and compassion. So how would that fit in for Taterhead? How would that fit in for Taterhead? That's a good question. Wishes are coming true, dreams are becoming reality, happiness, joy, satisfaction, prosperity, fulfillment are coming. You can accomplish anything you put your mind to. So there are all these difficult situations coming up for him with all these swords. But I guess, I mean, I feel like in some way this is saying that he is going to achieve some things. There is going to be some good news for him. He'll have some wins, right? So the whole summer won't be bad. He'll have some wins of his own that he's probably happy with. Um, but that's really the only card at the end where I can kind of see that. Maybe he is able to convince somebody of something because of the Page of Swords. Page of Swords are good about debates. So he's able to convince somebody to do something, and he is kind of happy with that result. So right now, I see a summer of ups and downs for him as per usual. I don't see that as being anything kind of different than what he's been up to now. So now I want to know, what is his fall going to be like? This autumn for Taterhead. What's the autumn going to be like for Taterhead? And maybe I'll ask a yes or no question a little bit later because these felt very vague to me in a way. So maybe I need to be a little bit more, I need to narrow down my question. So if you're learning tarot and you just feel like your answers are too vague, it may be because your question is too vague. So the fall. So this autumn, September, October, November. Let's see. This autumn, what will happen to Taterhead's power? What will happen to Taterhead's power as president this autumn? So I'm trying to make this a little bit more less vague, right? I'm trying to make it less vague. What will happen to Taterhead's power in regards to the presidency this autumn? All right, 5 cards. Death. Oh, okay. The Hermit. We're getting the major arcana here. Queen of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. 2 of Cups. Huh. Well, this is an interesting card. Death is about change. It's about the ending of things. It could literally be death. It couldn't, but it more often than not, I don't think it's literal, but it could be. The Hermit is somebody who is alone. They are thinking about what they've done, what they want to achieve, what to do next. They're really in that process of just being alone and looking inside themselves. Queen of Pentacles, again, that's the feminine qualities of leadership. Sometimes the court cards represent people specifically. The Queen of Pentacles could be somebody that is a woman that has a lot to do with finance, career, um, health conditions. Could be a doctor, could be um, Taterhead's wife. She is, I would say, she is a pentacle type of person, has to do with money. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. Sixes are a bit calm after the storm of the five. Fives can be, I mean, fives are good cards too because they can talk about freedom. But sixes usually are quieter. So whatever happened in the five is a little bit calmer in the six. Um, we're looking at, yeah, we're looking at a calmness that comes up, which I find to be very interesting. That has to do with finance, career protection, or even physical capabilities or health conditions. What would my little book say about the Six of Pentacles? These are very beautiful cards. I really like the images, but the images aren't that easy to read when it comes to getting a story out of the cards. The traditional tarot um, does that very well. So when you read cards, you could memorize what they all mean, or you could go by intuition. You could go by symbolism within the cards. You could do a mixture of both. You could do it by numerology with the numbers. You know, you can do a lot of different things. The cards are a tool. So how you use that tool, you use it for how it works for you. All right. So the Six of Pentacles, it talks a lot about charity, um, being generous with money or time or knowledge. um, there may be wealth and prosperity. Give abundantly and accept with gratitude if you are given. So, what's interesting here, I think, is we have this death card. So, there's an ending. So, when we were asking about this power as president, and automatically it's like that ends. That ends, and he's kind of left alone. Whether this is like he's in the afterlife now having to go through this contemplation, or he's just set aside, right? He's not well, he's taken out of power, he's just kind of set aside. People aren't listening to him anymore. I see his wife there, or a powerful woman kind of in charge of him, right? This hermit is looking at this death. This queen is not looking at him. She's looking forward, right? She's possibly moving on. Um, Sometimes when I look at the Six of Pentacles and I think of charity, I kind of think of um, like wills, inheritance. I think the I feel like the nine or the maybe the Eight of Pentacles is more like inheritance, but there is some type of charity going on. This could be, if he's no longer president, it could even be something in his name that people set up, the people that really like him, or there's just this kind of a little bit of reverence given to him because of the position of being a president, right? Then we get the Two of Cups. So we got these two here. And it's funny because the first thing I thought of when I saw these two was JD Vance and Marco Rubio. Two peas in a pod. Who, right? They Two of Cups is like having an agreement. It's like a social agreement between two people. Who comes after Taterhead? Is there an agreement put into place? Vance becomes varsity. Vance becomes president and says, "Hey, Marco, would you like to be vice president. I think that could definitely be something that happens. Um, and so these cards here, I'm following a narrative because this card set the tone. If I didn't get this card and I got a much happier card first, the rest of this reading would be very different. But for me, this card is setting the tone. That is a big deal. Like that's a focus right there. So I don't see him being in power in the autumn, or he's at least losing his power in the autumn. Could be a health thing, could be somebody decided they no longer want him in power. The Queen of Pentacles could be someone else other than his wife, somebody who is able to take that power away from him or is in charge of taking that power away from him. The queens don't always have to be women, the kings don't always have to be men. We're looking at a feminine energy, somebody who has leadership qualities that maybe people think of more as feminine. So, who is there somebody in Congress that's like that? Is there somebody within the administration that is like that? Possibly. So that's what I got. I don't, I think his summer is going to be pretty much same old, same old. It's going to be tough. He's got a lot of swords that may also have to do with health issues. He's going to lose power. He's not going to be popular. And then come autumn, that death card was like, hello. So that set the tone. All right. So thank you for joining me. Um, if you would like for me to read on something, please let me know. I do like to get in ideas from people, see what you're interested in. Um, please like, subscribe. Please turn the notification bell to all. Please share if you know somebody who may like these readings, who may want to learn tarot. If I talk too slow, just run me at 1.25 or 1.5. I do that to myself if I have to listen to myself. Um, but I am learning, I'm still learning the cards. So, like, I like to think things through and talk out loud. I do have an educational background. So, that's what I do. Um, yeah. So, please like, subscribe, leave a comment after you watch. Just say hello. I will say hello back. Thank you for being there. I appreciate everybody who watches and shares and subscribes. I really do appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. All right. So have a good night. Oh, and today is Sunday, June 7th. And that is when I'm recording this. Sunday, June 7th, 2026. Okay.